This is Michael Popak, Legal AF. Well, to say that Donald Trump is traumatized by Judge Chutkan in a D.C. election interference case, just ordering, in the last hour or two, the full public disclosure of Jack Smith's entire case against Donald Trump, line by line, 160 plus pages, plus evidence citations, plus dozens and dozens and dozens of witnesses that are cited against him to support the indictment against a dismissal on immunity grounds, just what the Supreme Court ordered up. That was the Pandora's box that the Supreme Court opened back in July when they ordered, effectively, the prosecutor to make his case to the American people and to Judge Chutkan and to them to prove they could carry their burden of showing that Donald Trump committed crimes that overcome any presumption of immunity. What did they think was going to happen? And now Donald Trump has lost it. I mean, he already lost his fastball years ago, and now he's lost the rest of it. He's lost all the balls. Let's just put it that way. And you can tell because of, now I'm going to say unhinged Donald Trump social media posts. Now, I know that's redundant because I defy anyone who follows Legal AF or MeidasTouch to find for me and post in this chat a hinged social media post by Donald Trump. I only have the unhinged ones. This guy's not tethered to reality. He's not. He's just not. He's not connected to Mother Earth. Here's what he had to say about the filings, which will just become, like talking points for his MAGA followers. And in fact, we should have a contest on the MeidasTouch Network and on Legal AF. You write in the voice of Donald Trump, the social media posts as if you were Donald Trump. I bet you we could find people that could almost hit this nail on the head every time. All right, here we go. Remember, here's the timing. Judge Chutkan rules in favor of the Department of Justice's recommendation that the entirety, except for a few redacted, blacked out sections, not even sections, just names of people who we can already figure out the names. In fact, we're hard at work with a combination of I and AI to figure out exactly who the 30 people are. I could do 20 off the top of my head right now. I'm going to save that for another hot take. Maybe on Legal AF MTN on our new channel. But here's the new social media post now that the 150, 160 pages has been made public. And we can talk about it and we can analyze it. And people like me and other legal commentators can go through it with you and tell you what we think. First social media post. I didn't rig the 2020 election. They did. Oh, God. I call that the My Cousin Vinny closing argument or opening statement in My Cousin Vinny, where he stood up and said, everything that guy just said, complete and utter BS. I think he used a stronger word. Let's keep going, though. I'm going to read these verbatim. These are not made up. These are actual posts from Donald Trump. For 60 days, no brain cells were injured in the making of these social media posts. For 60 days prior to an election, we're 35, the Department of Injustice is supposed to do absolutely nothing that would taint or interfere with a case. All right, stop right there. That's not the DOJ rule. First of all, it's an aspirational rule. It's a guideline. It's not a constitutional precept that requires a no action. The founding fathers and the framers didn't go, and there shall be no, this is my founding father framer voice, there shall be no filings, no criminal prosecutions within 60 days of an election. That's not in the Constitution. It's not anywhere. The Department of Justice's handbook gives guidance to prosecutors and says, look, don't start your prosecution 60 days before an election. Do it after. This prosecution against Donald Trump was started 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago. We're just talking about setting the trial and filing papers. That's not a violation of the DOJ manual, but I digress. Let's continue. They disobeyed their own rule in favor of complete and total election interference. I did nothing wrong. How do I know that? It's all in caps. That's how I know he did nothing wrong. I did nothing wrong. They did. This case is a scam, just like all of the others, including the documents case, which was dismissed. That's the Mar-a-Lago case. That's going to be reinstated by the 11th Circuit. I have another question, a little editorial note. Who's writing these for him now? Dan Scavino, who's testifying against him in this case, used to write a lot of his mean tweets for him. Who's doing these? These are all Donald? Okay. I know who wants to know. It's like new evidence that the Department of Justice is going to use. Does this violate a gag order? Maybe. Another hot take. Here we go. Here we go. Another 10 minutes later, election interference. You know, he's got this crazy, he just blurts out random words and hopes they're making a point. Here's a good one. Democrats are, here's our favorite new made-up term, are weaponizing the Justice Department against me because they know I'm winning. I don't think anybody watching Donald Trump's campaign and the recent polling thinks he's winning, in all caps. And they are desperate to prop up their failing candidate, Kamala Harris. I'll give one credit to J.D. Vance last night. At least he pronounced her name right over and over again. The DOJ pushed out this latest hit job today because J.D. Vance humiliated Tim Walz last night in the debate. All right, Grandpa. Time to go home. The timing of this had nothing to do with the debate. The reason we're even talking about it in October is because of Donald Trump's Supreme Court, because they waited until April to hear the case on the immunity, the last day of their term, because they issued their order in July on the last day of their term. Because of that, we are now restarted a case with Judge Chutkan, which I should have been doing this hot take 4 months ago. It's not time to it has to do with the Supreme Court's requirement that the special counsel put up or shut up and put all of its evidence on the table and cards on the table right now before trial to justify and defend their new indictment against Donald Trump against an immunity dismissal. That's the timing. J.D. Vance, oh Lord. So, but let's continue. He also said the DOJ has become nothing more than an extension of Joe's and Kamala's campaign. Nobody believes that. This is egregious prosecutorial misconduct. What? First of all, the judge, you know, the woman in a black robe who's more powerful than you, she ordered the immediate disclosure to the public of this 145-page document, 150-page document. She allowed 150 pages. She allowed and actually endorsed the providing to her of line-by-line evidence to support the case against them. Now look, the Democratic Party is turning into America's third world country, blah, blah, blah. Okay. I'm sort of bored with his crap, but let's do one more. And then I'm going to tell you about how the Republicans have already started to turn against Donald Trump based on this 150-page, 160-page report. The release of this falsehood-ridden, unconstitutional J6 brief immediately following Tim Walz's disastrous debate performance and 33 days before the most important election in the history of our country. Do you know how I know it is? It's all in caps. Is another example or attempt by the Harris-Biden regime to undermine and weaponize American democracy and interfere with the 2024 election because Trump is dominating the election cycle. Okay. And they're freaking out. Their entire case is partisan and whatever. All I can tell you is Republicans, reliable MAGA commentators and Republicans, saw the 150 pages, saw each line supported by evidence, witness testimony, witness summaries, text messages, emails, audio and video recordings, and they freaked out. And they themselves said, this is a document that shows the criminality of Donald Trump, leading into the to try to avoid the peaceful transfer of power. How do I know? Neil Cavuto, who plies his trade on Fox, decided that that's exactly, he had just seen the light. The scales had dropped from his eyes. Rip Van Cavuto had woken up and decided that this was the first document he's ever seen that showed that Donald Trump committed a crime because he'd never seen the Jan 6 report or the first indictment or the second indictment. Let's roll the clip.
In on a busy news day, and we're trying to get to the bottom of it. Prosecutors right now are offering a redacted version of special counsel Jack Smith's filing. That had to be made public today. It was in this newly unsealed court paper. We're learning that former President Trump resorted to crimes in a bid to cling to power after the 2020 election. We don't know much more than that. A lot of this stuff was going to be coming out anyway. We're going to be getting the latest on that and a legal to look at what is being revealed here. And whether it's giving us any information, anything we don't know. The timing of this, of course, a little more than about 5 weeks before the general election. We're on top of that, give you the latest on this. In the meantime, then there's this.
I'm sorry I'm having so much fun with this particular hot take, but yeah, that's where we are. The law firm, my Legal AF podcasting and hot take work, and a new baby to raise with my wife. I've hit the apex of my stress level, leading me to feel drained at times and run down. But I would never use any type of stimulant that would interfere with my heart-healthy routine. Super Beets Heart Chews offer a convenient, delicious plant-based way to support healthy blood pressure and circulation. Enjoy a heart-healthy boost without the jitters. Paired with a healthy lifestyle, the unique antioxidant compound in Super Beets is clinically shown to be nearly 2 times more effective at promoting normal blood pressure than a healthy lifestyle alone. I love Super Beets Heart Chews because it has boosted my energy level and made me feel like I am focused on a heart-healthy lifestyle, so I don't let those important to me, including my audience, down. And it's so simple. I just put the individually wrapped heart chews in my little sandwich bag along with my other vitamins and take them as soon as I step into my daily commute. It's the only heart chew I've ever used, and that says it all. Support healthy circulation from a plant-based chew without stimulants and no artificial sweeteners or colors. In fact, more doctors, pharmacists, and cardiologists recommend Super Beets for heart health support than any other beet brand. Double your potential with Super Beets Heart Chews. Get a free 30-day supply of Super Beets Heart Chews on all bundles and 15% off your first order by going to getsuperbeets.com and using code LEGALAF. That's getsuperbeets.com. Code LEGALAF. The thing that Donald Trump most feared has happened, and the worm has started to turn. This wasn't intended to go to the American people to convince them about their voting decision, but ultimately it will. Every line in that document is supported by evidence. Mountains and mountains of evidence. So much evidence that the prosecutors could convict successfully on a beyond a reasonable doubt standard a dozen Donald Trumps. And it just reminds the American people, much the way the Jan 6 report originally did, in its 350 pages, that Donald Trump's a criminal. And yes, he's presumed guilty. I'm sorry, he's presumed innocent. Whoops. But he's presumed innocent against a mountain of evidence arrayed against him. Tons of witnesses, all Republicans, all who he hired, all who were part of his cabinet, all who was part of his inner circle, all who was part of his White House counsel's office, all that was private counsel, all part of his campaign, are going to testify against him, including executive assistants and people he may not even remember their name, and press secretaries, who are going to testify against him. All right? And that jury in the District of Columbia of Donald Trump's peers, fair and impartial though they may be, are going to be persuaded by Jack Smith. If, however, to remind people, despite this 150 pages, despite another 200 pages that we expect in the middle of October to also be publicly released without appeal, without taking an appeal, without an ability to take an appeal because the judge is too smart for him and posted the document right away without giving him time to run anywhere, to appeal and try to get the Supreme Court involved, when we get our hot little hands on another 250 pages, and 30 pages of single-spaced footnotes with exhibits. Lawyers love footnotes. Lawyers love exhibit tabs. When we see that, I mean, if Donald Trump's head doesn't pop off and roll down Pennsylvania Avenue, I don't know what will. And where are you going to follow it? I got 2 locations for you, 2 parallel locations, because there's so much law and politics out there right now that MeidasTouch and I, in collaboration, formed a new channel just to capture it and talk about it. Legal AF, MTN, for for MeidasTouch Network. Yes, it's the baby that you've been waiting for, besides mine and Ben's and Jordy's. It's MeidasTouch Network and Legal AF together again, as always. Legal AF MTN on YouTube, bringing you at that same intersection and crossroads of law and politics, the analysis and commentary you've come to expect. I curate the channel. I'm the executive producer. I'm going to be bringing it to you hard every day. Want your fix of law and politics? You know where to come. Legal AF MTN. Free subscribe right now. There's a little oval button that says subscribe. Hit it. Help us get to 200,000 before Halloween or for Donald Trump mischief night. We're at about 130, 140 right now, and we're only 2.5 weeks old. We're not even a toddler. All with your help. We thank you. I personally inviting you to come over there and do it with us over there in collaboration with the MeidasTouch Network. You're going to see me and other great contributors that you've expected from the Meidas universe. Kathleen Rice of Mistrial, Karen Friedman Agnifilo of Mistrial and Legal AF already have contributed. Dina Dahl from Ask Dina Dahl and frequent commentator on the MeidasTouch Network over there right now. So until my next hot take, until my next Legal AF podcast or Legal AF MTN exclusive content, this is Michael Popak, and I'm reporting. In collaboration with the MeidasTouch Network, we just launched the Legal AF YouTube channel. Help us build this pro-democracy channel where I'll be curating the top stories, the intersection of law and politics. Go to YouTube now and free subscribe at Legal AF MTN. That's at Legal AF MTN.